Exhale, peace. Inhale, world. Exhale, peace. Thank you so much. I'll turn it over to you, George. Thank you.
Thank you, Jennifer, and thank you, Jean, for putting us up live again for another successful month. We are moving closer to September. Believe it or not, it's 2 months away after this wonderful month of July is almost gone. And we've been moving quite fast in a year. We've worked, last month was an exciting meeting with, how do you say, it was DiCicco Akamatsu from Japan. It was really an amazing meeting. But today is exciting. We have Maver going to open up for us with opening remarks, and then we'll move over to Education, as well as the incomparable DiCicco of the Peace Crane Project, as well armed with the arts. So we have an exciting meeting. I believe there may be a discussion, a few other discussions. I know Ms. Callie from Mexico mentioned possibly talking about some of the work with African-American youths in the United States of America, as well as abroad, regarding being a part of the social justice and the peace process. So forward with the meeting and bringing these great minds and these great conversations to place. So welcome everyone to the Education Peace Team meeting, July 27, 2015, Partnerships for Peace and Dignity for All. And I'd like to turn this over to our wonderful advisor, the amazing Maver. Welcome aboard.
Thank you, George and Jennifer, and of course, Jean, for making so much of this possible. Appreciate it. It's always such a joy to participate with this International Day of Peace education team. So thank you for inviting opening remarks. It seems there's an especially powerful opportunity for education this year, given the theme, Partnerships for Peace, Dignity for All, and the truth-telling that we are experiencing as global citizens in countries around the world. Nowhere is this more evident than where I live here in the United States, as we realize our institutional racism and the emergence of the Black Lives Matter movement. I want to give a shout out to so many colleagues who are daring to give voice to the obvious and demanding that we all find our voice. Patricia Ann Talley, Dave Ragland, Arthur Romano, Kristen Famula, Jennifer Kim, George Anthony, Fania Davis, Van Jones, and so many others in this country and around the world. The International Day of Peace 2015 demands nothing less than our full support of dignity for all. Beyond unity through diversity, as important as that is, this grounds us, this demands of us a loving understanding, a deep respect, tolerance, sincere willingness to embrace every single member of our society as essentially valued and inherently having the capacity to make a contribution on behalf of the common good. In the spirit of education, drawing forth, leading out, we are all peace builders, peace educators. May we rise to this occasion and as a group demonstrate this theme, partnerships for peace, dignity for all, living in harmonious relationship with self, others, and all life. May the spirit of peace be spread abroad in our hearts, through our groups, and throughout the world. Thank you.
Todd, I want to thank you. As always, you are such an inspirational human being, and you truly remind us of the connections that we need to make with each other and continue to make with each other. I think this is why this Education Peace Team is so important, because it does make those connections. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
And go ahead, I'm sorry. And what I love about this Education Peace Team is each month Jennifer connects us through the web pages and website and the emails with all these organizations and all these peace builders, as you mentioned, throughout the world, who are truly putting their spirit, their passion into play creating these wonderful programs, programs that people can sort of work with and go into. And I think the most important word is own up to the fact that I have this passion to sort of not only talk about peace, but to sort of create it and watch it move forward. It's almost like a current. And the Education Peace Team sort of works like that current, by making these connections. So one of those connections is a gentleman named Philippe Tozignon. My French, Philippe, you're correct. But Philippe is part of a wonderful organization called Education, which really started as the Social Justice Connection, which started way back in 1975. And up until 2014, it was known as the Social Justice Committee for Montreal, as a connection to sort of connect Montreal to issues of social struggles in Central America. But 2015, they launched this amazing program called Education, which I'm sure we will hear about. So Philippe, thank you for joining the Education Peace Team. And we look forward to hearing from you. I turn this over to Philippe. Philippe, welcome.
Thank you for your nice and warm introduction and comments. It's a true pleasure to be with you this afternoon, and I'm in fact very excited to have a couple of minutes to chat with you. I've been thinking about that for the last couple of days. I'll just a couple words on the SJC. I've been volunteering there for 3 years as a workshop presenter in high school and other NGOs. And I've been working now 3 years as a paid employee, as a staff person. So it's been 6 years of involvement with the organization. And right now I'm the coordinator of the education program called EduConnection. And so I'll introduce you a bit more to the organization, but more specifically to the education program. And then we'll jump to the Peace Boss, because that's the connection with this year's thematic, and I mean not this year's thematic, but this year's International Day of Peace, and what we're specifically organizing for this day in collaboration with Jean and Circle of Peace. Sounds good? Great. I see Jennifer nodding, so that's great. Okay, so what SJC does, what do we do? Advocacy and education. So in terms of advocacy, we're the last Canadian organization and the most active doing advocacy for human rights and the environment at the World Bank and the IMF. We participate in monthly discussions and meetings and such. Usually we lobby for the inclusion of better respects for human rights within the development projects that they fund, because as you probably know, a lot of projects connect in very unfortunate way with things such as forced displacement, people who are committing mass murder, human trafficking, and all other sorts of really nasty things. So we're usually trying to, lobby for better respects of human rights within those projects that have these consequences. Now, in terms of education, it has multiple components. So workshops, and that's all about, what EduConnection does is workshops. Half are given to roughly 50 NGOs that runs humanitarian missions abroad and field work around the world. So we train their staff, their volunteer, before their departure from Eastern Canada. So for example, last groups of doctors who left with Doctors Without Borders to go in Africa for Ebola had a training before with us. So we're running training also for Oxfam, Amnesty International, from quite large organizations to some very small grassroots organizations. And the other half of the trainings and workshops are provided in school from elementary to PhD on kind of wide range of age, right? On various topics pertaining to human rights and the core of our global citizenship approach, which has three main pillars: knowledge about self, knowledge about others, and knowledge about systems. So we say that these are the three pillars of responsible global citizenship: knowledge about self, to be able to change oneself and and find the inner strength to do so. It's about nonviolent behaviors, nonviolent communications, and so on. So it's all about peace education Two, knowledge about others, to work with them in solidarity, fight against stereotype, so that one may stop acts of hate toward vulnerable groups and people. And I'd say third pillar, which is knowledge about systems. So systems, political, economic, social systems, relationships, ecosystems. There are all sort of systems that we need to understand how they work if we want to solve world problems, right? So we often say that poverty is in part the result of a broken system. Now these organizations are half in school, half in further NGOs, but also we started recently a kitchen party. So anyone may have us for dinner and host a workshop in their kitchen or living room. It's a grassroots education, I guess, project. But beyond anything, it's just a lot of fun, and, with a glass of wine or I don't know, water, let's say. We have mentorships programs for youth willing to develop projects along these lines too. So either one-on-one or very small group support with weekly follow-up. So I'd say that usually what we try to do is we equip them with tools and skills to achieve better projects or more effective and efficient projects. So we might help them to prepare a budget, to structure a campaign in 7 steps, or there are different tools like that have been developed by a number of organizations that we use with youth that we mentor. And we're developing educational activities and textbooks that are also approved by the government for high school teaching. There are 9 other components, so I'll just stop here and simply highlights the 2 last projects. So we started 2 years ago now a community of practice, and later we might have another discussion another day about that, but we started 2 years ago a community of practice in peace education and peace building with roughly 50 individuals, on the basis that, according to survey, less than 10% of community educators are actually trained in education, which is a problem, and I'll get to this in a second. And roughly 10% of teachers in Canada, I don't know about the US, but I guess a similar rate, around 10% of teachers, according to surveys, feels comfortable enough to talk about peace education, human rights, social justice, and environment in their class. That's a very, very small amount of people. So it leads to a lot of misbehavior or inappropriate content or practices that not only miss its point, but also desensitize students and further develop cynicism and other form of demobilization. So there's a real impact of not doing good education. Sometimes we'd just rather not talk about certain things if we're not to do it properly. And this is why I think this Education Peace Team is such a great initiative, because it allows to share practices and ideas about good practices and about activities and so on. So anyways, we'll try to make this community more global. We built in our building a whole array of very unique web tools for collaborations across borders, disciplines, and generations. So you'll hear more about that probably in the next couple of weeks. It's a big project. Jean knows quite a lot about it because we talk almost every week about it. Yeah, so we're very deep into that now. We have about 40 volunteers working on that project. Now we are only 2 paid employees at the SJC. I'm the only full-time staff at EduConnection, but we do have in the education team about 90 up to 100 volunteers at any given moment. About 20% being full-time volunteers who are doing internships through their universities or different sort of programs, but it helps a lot. It's a very diverse team. We actually always have a couple of students from the US. So we have a lot of connections, and you'll know more about that in this next project, because lastly, and this is where I'd like if we could put our attention now a bit, is the Peace Bus that we intend to organize for the International Day of Peace. So the Peace Bus is something that Jean has been organizing for quite a while, as far as I know, with Circle of Peace, right? And he gave us this year the honor and very unique opportunity to put together a Canadian delegation. So I'm very excited about that too. I'm a very excited person, as you can see. But anyways, so that Canadian organization is becoming a little more international, and it's basically to get to the US and participate in the student observance for the International Day of Peace at the UN, right? So what's the bus? We're gathering young peacemakers and a few Nafit in Montreal from different places around the world. They all received a very special weekend of training, or some of them will receive it before the event, a full weekend of training in peace building. And that weekend is provided by some of our mentors and workshop facilitators and collaborators from other organizations. Now, who are the Peace Bus participants? So students who build peace projects in their school, right? Like other participants. Sorry. Some of them have started their own community engagement circles. Some are fighting against racism. Others have built peacemaker brigade in their school. Others again provide supports for victims of sexual assault on campus in universities, in McGill University, for example. Some even run their own peace education program. On the bus, there will be YMCA's medalists for peace, 2 of them, and some youth that were in the coordination committee of the World Social Forum on initiatives for peace and human security in Sarajevo last year. So it's already a pretty solid delegation that we have now. And we should also be joined by an ex-child soldier of Sierra Leone who has a lot of experience to share. We're not sure yet how he's going to interact with the rest of the group. He seemed to be, pretty comfortable in speaking in public and all that, all that stuff. But in his last conference, he reached a point that has never been reached before, where he discussed more in depth some things that he've witnessed, and it troubled him for quite a little while, and he withdrew from public presence because, child soldier, and it's there's so much to talk about that, and how terrible things are worldwide. So anyway, so we'll see. He's willing to participate in the bus. Whether he's going to be willing to engage more with the rest of the group or not, we'll see. But he should be there. And there are people working with him right now. So we'll see how things goes. And there should be also a war orphan from Eastern Europe genocide in Kosovo. And she's an excellent motivational speaker, regardless of her young age. So most of our participants that we recruited are Canadians, but there will be people from other countries. So Jamaica, Jordan, France, UK, Pakistan, Belarus, Ukraine, Russia, and Turkey. And as I mentioned, so Sierra Leone and Serbia. So now, what can we do with all these interesting people? So I'm not sure whose idea it was first, but probably somewhere in between Kelly or Jean, setting up a virtual peace bus. So the whole idea is that there would be a couple of hours, 1 or 2 days prior to the UN student observance for the International Day of Peace, a virtual peace bus being launched so that people from other classroom or other groups around the world could join on this virtual bus and embark on this trip for a brighter and better future, I guess. Bunch of ideas have been flying around, and the details are yet to be tailored. But so far, we know we'll be able to have live interviews and discussions, maybe QA sessions with some of the Peace Bus participants along the way to the UN, so that when we leave Montreal, we open something on Sunday, so different youth from around the world can connect, have discussions. We could if some of you would like to connect to the bus and also share stories or something like that, there could be opportunities to. We're looking at making connections, yeah, so all along the way, we should have a team of cameramen and camerawomen who will be able to feed the virtual world with insights on how this great peace event is taking place, and how it's being lived by the participants, and what are their journey through that. So it'd be also interesting, maybe, and that's something. It's more of a question than an actual statement, but it'd be interesting if you any of you had an interest. We'd be looking at trying to set up one or two in-class yet very easy to do activities that could be done maybe on the Thursday or Friday, right away before the event. We're thinking of something in Montreal area where we already have connections, but if you have other ideas in mind, many of the Peace Bus participants, including the orphan from genocide, or a couple of other peace medalists and such, are able to make themselves available to discuss with students wherever they are in the world, as long as it's time zone reasonable, I guess. So there could be a small activity in class followed by a discussion with Peace Bus participants, and then maybe the students can virtually join the Peace Bus, as a way to sustain their interest up leading to the event, where they can see everything through UN TV, hook on the global webcast. I mean, there are so many interesting connections we could do. So if you have ideas for activities or something like this, please do not hesitate to share. Actually, I'd like to hear your input if we have time, whether now or later. I'm not sure what's the time constraint now, so I'm letting you this I'm letting this in your hands. But again, that's pretty much what I had to say, and I talk very quickly. That's just the excitement. So thank you for letting me the mic today. All to your own risk.
Thank you, Pierre. Thank you. You truly energized us with that presentation. Truly energized. I saw Jennifer taking notes, and I was taking notes, and I was watching Dad and Pierre there as a proud mentor, peace builder, peacekeeper. Truly, yes. When you said I would like to share with you and share ideas, I can't imagine the energy right now of what we were thinking, how we can contribute to that amazing day. Yes, the IDP is one day. We always say it's one day, but the IDP should be is really 364 other days as well. And the way we've used it in the past is the IDP as a springboard to other events and other projects. That's how I know I've used it for the past 20 years as well. And we always sort of use the 64 Days of Peace, the Season for Nonviolence, as a finalization to the projects we work. But I love this idea of a virtual bus. And already I was thinking ways we can contribute to that. I'm excited about a day. I know you mentioned 5 days, and I was trying to follow your train of thought. But a day where we could set up in schools, maybe a schedule, a 9 to 3 schedule, Eastern Daylight Time, but we would make adjustment across time zones, where schools can possibly join in at specific parts of the day, or they can also introduce some of their projects, and with a 20-minute time frame, and that can all get scheduled in way before. Again, this is just ideas and things that we're thinking about, but this way everyone gets excited from the IDP, and we use this day as a way of just bringing our projects forward globally, in essence, showing that energy that's out there, especially amongst the schools. I know we always talk about putting these skills into the hands of our young. So when the young are connected to a project, and a day, we know with our young, we sort of have to give them a timeline so they know that they're moving towards something, and then they give that something life. Yes, I think we can put so much energy in this day with some of the great projects and some of the great ideas that our youth have owned at that point, have sort of taken over, and now I want to present to the world as well. So that's an idea. I look forward to continuous conversation with you, with Dot, with Jennifer, with Jean, and I thank you. You're an army of one, but you have a world to work with. And Educación is a great idea, and I'm so thank you for launching such a phenomenal idea. And again, you did mention about teachers and education, and yes, 10% of teachers probably only feel equipped. I know students like my class because I'm not afraid to be passionate about peace, and they want to know how they can sort of be connected to that passion. So I thank you. I'd like to open this up to Dot and Jennifer and everyone else who was part of this meeting today to ask questions or
My apology, I didn't unmute all, and it didn't turn out very well because some of you are not using headphones, so my mistake. If you want to speak, please just raise your hand. And okay, Sue, I've got your hand. And anyone else right now? So I'll start with Sue, just a second. Sue, you're unmuted.
Hi, everyone. Philippe, you're tremendously inspiring, and I'm really impressed with what you have going there. I just wanted to volunteer the Peace Crane Project right off. If I can be part of the bus, and either on the bus in a real way or a virtual way, and get those kids making peace cranes and maybe delivering them to the UN or to one another. If you're making stops, we can work that out. It's a real hands-on thing, and I think what you're up to might perfectly coincide with what I'm up to this year. So just to think about that and let me know if that works for you.
Beautiful, Sue. I totally agree, and we will be in touch to talk about that following your conversation. I noticed that some new people, Carlos, greetings to you from Egypt. So good to have you on board. You came in a little bit after we started, so I wanted to spend some time and greet you. Carlos has also sent a representative from Egypt who's going to be attending also the Peace Day event on September 21st. So I'm sure he will have a chance to talk more about that in the near future. So George, I'm so sorry. I'm going to mute myself now and give the floor back to you.
Hi, Jean. Okay, thank you. Susan, and thank you for your contributions. That's exciting. Would anyone else at this point like to contribute to what Philippe said? Or else then I'll move this meeting forward. Jean, do we show anybody else like to get involved?
Would you like to say a few words, Carlos? Let me unmute your mic so at least you can say hello to everyone.
Yeah, hello to everyone from Egypt. I will like to if I am the only one from this side of the world connecting now. Yeah? Well, I hope they can represent all Middle East in this moment. My best regard to all of you, and we are working with you. We are praying for your work.
We have Valerie also from Paris, so you're not completely alone.
Okay, great.
Thank you, Carlos. Back to you, George.
Thank you. Dot, is there another hand? As Dot mentioned, she sees someone else who may like to get involved. All right, then we'll move this forward and welcome Carlos Atlan from Egypt. So we now move over to the incomparable Sue DiCicco.
I'm sorry to cut you off. Bill had something to say. Are you user? Is that you, Bill?
Yes, that's me, yeah. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
All right, welcome, Bill.
A couple of things. First of all, I think it's a great project, and I'm wondering if there could actually be the young people on the bus could be doing their personal peace messages, which could then be uploaded to the broadcast, which will be taking place around the same time. That would be really a great thing to do. The other thing I want to mention that's somewhat connected because it has to do with the bus, the John Lennon bus is going to be on the 10th and 11th of September in front of the UN, and they're going to be actually training young people to do their own peace messages. And so that's another way to get, and it's maybe another bus. So maybe there'd be some kind of connection between the John Lennon bus and the peace bus. Seems like there should be, right?
Absolutely.
Yes, and not only they should be, I need to speak with you because it's totally part of the plan to link it all up with a webcast, global webcast peace team. So more news on this very soon, Bill. You and I need to come together very shortly. But it's all good. Thank you so much for bringing that up and for, for your interest. Much appreciated, my brother.
Okay, Mike.
Back to you, George.
Thank you, Jean. Jean, so as I was saying, we're going to move this meeting over to Susan DiCicco. Where do you begin with someone like Susan DiCicco? She's a sculptor, an author, an illustrator. I think now best known for the Peace Crane project, but Sue brings us a history of peacekeeping and building. And now, as the founder of On With the Arts, they are literally in 52 countries and growing. It's a project that children and adults and teachers move towards. It has moves lives, it gets conversations going, and puts peace in the hands of children. And On With the Arts is basically all about that, finding creative ways of making others part of that peace process. So thank you, Susan, for joining us, and I move this meeting over to you.
Great, thanks, George, and hello, everybody. So just to recap, George covered it pretty well there, I think, what we're up to, but every year we host the Peace Crane Project, which invites children all over the world to write a poem or draw a picture about peace, fold it into an origami peace crane, and then through us, trade it with another child somewhere in the world. So last year we did have 154 countries that interacted with us in some way. I think today, as of today, we have about 30 countries actively trading somewhere in the world. And it's pretty much the off season. So, in the next few weeks, I'm guessing, the number of countries actively trading is going to increase substantially. I know this morning I was just speaking with someone in South Africa who has 8,000 children who are joining us. And last week I sent out a little notice because we had someone in Cameroon who was having trouble finding an exchange partner, and the response to them was so overwhelming. They finally wrote to me and said, "Please don't send any more my way. I'm overwhelmed." So the enthusiasm is really huge and growing, and just tremendously exciting. We're also teaming with the Nuclear Age Peace Foundation, as we do every year, to celebrate Sadako Day. It's a little more local, but that's an important event on our calendar as well. So if you have an opportunity to join us, I hope you'll sign up for our exchange list, or at least join our newsletter, and encourage people in your community to join us. So you can find us at peacecraneproject.org, and there's a little link to sign up there. I think opportunities as well, like the Peace Bus, things like that, we're definitely looking to be involved. I think some of you know, or maybe not, but I am expecting my first grandbaby in the next few weeks. So I'm a little terrified this year on my ability to keep up, but I'm going to do my best. And it might not run quite as smoothly as years previous, just because, he's my priority in the coming weeks. But I do expect that we'll have a huge year, and I hope you all join us.
Thank you, Jen. Thank you, Sue. Congratulations on your grandchild. That is going to light up your life in more ways than you can imagine. So congratulations again to that. So at this point, we we'd like to move over to updates. I know we have Carlos joining us today, as well as Valerie and Jennifer. I know we'd like to also talk about some of the things going on in Chicago. As we move towards the International Day of Peace and Peace Day, yes, it is the off season, but we are always moving. You're right. For many people, schools will start next month. August starts schools and projects, and teachers are going to look for things for students to do. And International Day of Peace is coming up. So I'd like to move this meeting over to the participants who would like to sort of update us on some of their projects and their programs. So Jean, I turn this over to you, which will turn us over to the users.
Thank you, my brother. I'm going to try to do this in order. There's also somebody that's reached us via phone with a 612 area code. Would you like to introduce yourself and say a few words?
Hi, yeah, this is Bert Burlow, and I've been in touch with, I'm in Minneapolis. I've been in touch with Dot and Jennifer. I have some resources that might be of interest to all of you. And also, we'll be doing some activities on the International Day of Peace. I'm the author of 2 books of stories of compassionate rebels, ordinary people changing the world. And I am a peace journalist and a peace builder. And I would like very much to share our educational materials and whatever else we have with anybody who's interested. Our event on the 20th, we're actually going to have our peace event on the 20th, the day before the International Day of Peace. And we're going to do something rather unique. We are designating the Loft Literary Center in Minneapolis as an international peace site. So we're joining literature, the power of peace with the power of literature. And we'll have an all-day event, music, and all sorts of good things going on that day. We'd love to hook up with anything that you folks are doing. I would be glad to talk to people more about what I have to offer. Perhaps I can be on for a little bit longer on the next show. My website is www.compassionaterebel.com to get an idea of, we have an educator's guide that was produced by college students, and we have a couple of books that are really great and a video that's really great. And I'm anxious to work with you guys. I really appreciate Jennifer and Dot getting me involved, and I'm glad to be with you.
Wonderful. Welcome, Bert. It is great to have you on the call. And I apologize if I don't see you raising your hand because you're on the phone, so it's making it harder.
I'm on the phone. I'm on the phone. Sorry, I'm not on Skype. Yeah. Okay.
No worry. No worry. Thanks for adding these words and welcome.
Thank you.
Have you on more of these calls, I'm sure. So I will mute your mic again if you don't mind.
Okay.
And introduce someone by the name of FJMAD000. Hello, are you there? Testing, testing. FJMAD000. Okay, that's not going very well. So I'm going to ask anyone to raise their hand if you have a few words you would like to say. Jennifer, it is all yours. All yours.
Thank you, John. Thank you. I just wanted to share that here in Chicago, since 2008, we've been doing a program where we provide peace-building activities to every school in the Chicago public school system. And we work with the head of Chicago Public Schools, who is actually someone appointed by our mayor. We've gone through almost one CEO per year. There's been so much changeover since we started this, with a new CEO just coming in again in the past week. But even with this difficulty of keeping that communication going, we've been able to keep this project continuing. So we provide a simple packet with some suggested ideas that students can do as an action for peace on the International Day of Peace. We have a big ceremony. This year it'll be the Friday before Peace Day on the 18th. Some students come to that as well and participate. But I'm thinking along about the Peace Bus, Philippe, and how our activities are going to be geared on the 21st, but I'd love to still figure out ways that Chicago students can somehow connect with what you'll be doing. So maybe we can later on put our heads together about that. So thank you all, and great to be here with everyone. And Bert, also, I'll just mention we'll be happy to make sure we send out your contact information to everyone as well, so people can contact you about your great resources. And thanks for being with us. Thank you, everybody. Thank you.
Thank you, Jennifer. And I apologize, I have to look at all the screens because I cannot have all the screens up at the same time. So bear with me as I scroll. I think, Bill, you just had your hand up. I'm going to come back to you right away. And you are user. Bill, you are unmuted.
Okay. Okay, I just wanted to give a brief update about the Peace Day broadcast because obviously, you know, we encourage everyone to be involved on whatever level they can. We are still accepting videos up until August 31st. So if organizations have videos about the important work that they're doing for peace or the environment or human rights, we'd love for you to send them. You can send the files directly to us at unityfoundation1, that's the number 1, at AOL.com. And our website is unityfoundation.org. A couple of special notes about this year's broadcast. We've been very, very fortunate recently in covering some very major events, which will be featured on the broadcast. The UN 70th anniversary celebration in San Francisco, featuring the UN Secretary General. We have that all on tape. That will be a special feature of the broadcast. Another special feature will be the Dalai Lama's 80th birthday and Global Compassion Summit. We also have that on tape, and that will be a part of the broadcast, as well as Ringo Starr's 75th birthday and Peace and Love celebration in Hollywood. So these are all special content events, along with all the peace messages that we hope we get from you folks and the people that you work with, and the content from all the different organizations, their video content. These will be some of the aspects of this year's broadcast. And again, we need to receive everything in no later than August 31st.
Thank you, Bill. Thank you very much, my brother. I'm gonna mute your microphone now and ask anyone else. Hands up. Keep it up. Oh, Valérie, do you have a few words? Wonderful. Wait, let me turn your microphone on. All yours, Valérie. Welcome.
Hi. I have a question for Sue. Hello?
Hi.
Oh, yes. Do you have any videos of children making a call for other children to make the cranes?
We have had videos made. I do not own them, and so they're not on our website, but we have had children in the past make the videos and post them on their school websites, which we love to share when we have them. So if you have opportunity to make them, I hope you'll share, and we'd love to feature them. If you're looking to see such a thing, I may be able to go back through our archives and see if I can post the link again from previous years.
Maybe what could be good is to get some of the children who are making the cranes talking about it and why they're making it, to encourage other children for the further years to participate.
That's a really great idea.
That's it.
That's beautiful. Thank you so much, Valérie. Yeah, Valérie has many great ideas, trust me. She's a wonderful partner and participant in Peace Day and many other elements related to arts in general. So, you know, I would love to connect you guys, and we'll send you both your information so that you can connect one-on-one as well.
Thanks, John. I'm making a note to my video team right now. So
You're
we'll see what we can do.
You guys are the best. Thank you so much. I'm going to scroll now through the screen, see if there's another hand up. Okay. Yes, Dot. Wonderful. Let me turn your microphone on. All yours, Dot.
Briefly, and George, you may have to pick this up. I sent you a note. There's a lot of noise outside. Sunday, September 20th at 7 p.m., we're hosting an International Day of Peace reception at the Nicholas Roerich Museum in New York City. And if there's one or two of you on the call who would like to be Skyped in or have a message read, please let us know. You can reach me at dot@nationalpeaceacademy.us. But that's the Sunday the 20th, the evening before the youth event at the UN.
Beautiful. Beautiful. Thank you so much for keeping that alive, Dot. I know how hard you've worked with that museum. They're wonderful participants as well throughout the year. So this is wonderful. Thank you. Anyone else? I'm going to scroll through. Okay, Carlos, you are unmuted.
Okay, now I just want to share an experience that I consider is very important for us, and we need your support. You know that 2 weeks ago we have an explosion of a bomb in the Italian embassy here in Cairo. I think you hear about it. So every time we have this kind of events, the atmosphere in all Egypt is very bad. And the first reaction is the division, Muslims in one side and Christians and foreigners in another side. So on the same day, with the group, we are working to prepare the celebration of 21st of September. We decide to put away our preparation and to concentrate in that day to organize quickly a dinner for Muslim, Christian, foreigners all together, just to give an answer of love to this situation. So 400 people came for this dinner, and it was very nice, very successful. The atmosphere was really, really very nice. So for the young ambassadors of peace in Cairo was a great encouragement to prepare in the best way the celebration of the 21st of September. Today we made a meeting, a very important meeting with the 30 young ambassadors of peace here in Cairo, and with some personalities also from the government. And we knew that for the first time in Egypt, they will celebrate this 21st, the International Peace Day. So it was a surprise for us. I didn't know that they never celebrated that before. So we need your support, because in this atmosphere of the country, it's not that easy to speak about peace and to celebrate peace. So that's it, just to make you know and to ask your support. Thank you.
Beautiful. Shukran. This is wonderful, Carl.
Well, thank you.
Anyone else? I'm scrolling through all of your video. Yes, Philippe, let me get to your microphone right away. Yes, go ahead, my brother.
Hi, this is a quick comment for Carlos. In our team in Montreal, we have people who are Muslim, Christian, from all different religions. And I know, like many of you have interfaith, many other people in the peace teams have interfaith background or knowledge or activities. But if you need youth that could communicate with the youth in Egypt, or just discuss or do something like that, we could easily try to organize something with one of our team, because there have been some work that we've done on this, and the social context is obviously easier in Canada because there's no such thing as bombing, but there are people in that team that come from all around the world, and they have been sometimes firsthand witness of very nasty things, and connections make things easier. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Philippe. Thank you, my brother. Anyone else with, I'm going to scroll again your videos. If you don't mind, Jennifer and George, I would like to say a few words about our promotion. You may have seen recently a promo on the International Day of Peace Facebook page. And if you haven't, please, I encourage you to go and check it out. It's about these wonderful T-shirts that you see now, men's T-shirt and women T-shirt. We have just started to receive them, and they will help promote special projects and programs such as the Peace Bus, and as well as we are trying to help raise much more funds through a new entity working with all the peace teams. And if we're able to get the sponsors that we are in discussion with to come on board this year, we will also be able to finance the Ustream connection for the global webcast, as well as more the education peace team. The new Philippe did not share with everybody, but we were able to reconnect with Learn Quebec this year for a 5-year contract to help put together this new peace education platform. So this is a contract that we had started 2 years ago with another partner. And Philippe has stepped in, and we had a meeting with Learn Quebec a few months ago. And we're just finalizing the deal with Philippe's NGO will be spearheading that project, and we are thrilled. We could not be more excited to be working alongside Philippe, and the fact that with Philippe's help and his expertise, that we were able to get this contract back. It's a $250,000 contract over 5 years. So it's very important for the education peace team. Of course, that money will be leveraged to be able to find partners in the US and around the world, so that this platform may grow even more in the following years. So send us your energy on that. It was a real test of faith. Philippe came together big time as a true partner, and true partnerships for peace and dignity for all manner. So thank you again, Philippe. You're very humble, and I just wanted to bring that up and announce the good news to everybody on the education peace team, since it does have to do with peace education in general. So well done, Philippe. And so again, these T-shirts, they're $21 for September 21st. If you also would be kind enough to repost the post that you will see on the IDP Facebook page, or retweet the hashtag Peace Day tweet, what we are doing with this campaign, you may remember last year's campaign of the selfie, where people were holding a sign saying, "I have a right to peace." This year, we're asking people to wear the T-shirt and take a selfie of themselves, encouraging others to do the same. So, it's fun because people are already starting to send us pictures, and they like to see themselves. So as soon as we have somebody wearing the T-shirt, it's a no-brainer for us to post them, to say who they are, give their name, where they're from. So this is a way to engage many people to wear the T-shirt. And of course, just the fact that they're wearing it on the street, as you see, the message is very simple. It's all about Peace Day in September 21st. So there could not be a more simple message to spread. And of course, keep it all on track on social media, repost. And, this is how the message gets to trend all over social media, whether it's Facebook or Twitter. So I'm going to mute my own mic now and give it back to.
Thank you, Jean. And yes, great. Peace Day was so exciting last year, especially the I believe it was millions upon millions of hits regarding that. So it'd be great if we can get that on bodies and move it around the world and sort of just move that message across person to person, country to country. Absolutely. So thank you for giving us that great concept of Peace Day, where we can wear it on our chest, close to our hearts, where we all belong. I'd just like to recap just some of the things that went on today. So Philippe, thank you. I look forward to getting on board regarding Educación and the virtual peace. I know you energized us in that regard. Dot, thank you for starting us and giving us the springboard. Your words are always powerful, and you always move all of us towards peace. And thank you for being that pinnacle, that light for us. Carlos, Egypt is the cradle of civilization, and your words are powerful. I wish you well. I know there's another group, Bayou Seeds of Peace, who does similar work to some of the great things that you're doing regarding peace building. Great delegation there of young voices and powerful voices. Reach out to Seeds of Peace or to Leslie Lewin here in New York City, and I'm sure she might be able to give you wonderful resources to assist you in your endeavor and continue moving forward with your message. And I look forward to one day meeting you and working with you as well. Bill at unityfoundation.com. Let's move that forward on the EPT team, the IDP team. August 31st is the deadline. So yes, we'll do that. Susan will continue to look for you and Peace Crane, the Peace Crane projects, especially when the school year begins. And thank you again for your energy and for your grandchild that will be coming. Bert will be joining us, I believe, in our next meeting. We will hear wonderful things about some of the great things he's doing on social justice and the Compassionate Rebel program. So, Bert, I look forward to hearing more from you in our next meeting. I'd like to thank John Trudell for leading us to this day and every day, and for your expertise in peace and especially technology. We would be lost without you. Special thanks also to Kelly Egan, who gives us the presentation and the energy and keeps us going and puts it all to social media. So thank you, Kelly Egan, for that in the background. But believe me, we would not be able to exist in the foreground without your energy. And a special thanks to Jennifer Kim, who I said to her before, Jen, this meeting is really a result of incredible legwork that she puts in, the amount of time that Jennifer puts in. I'm in awe. So Jennifer Kim, thank you for getting us to this meeting and for setting it up in this regard. You're a wonderful partner to work with. I'll let Jennifer close this out for her graciousness, and I look forward to seeing everyone again at our next meeting. And especially, I look forward to seeing as many of you in September, especially Dot. I look forward to hopefully seeing you September 20th at the museum, the meeting at 7 p.m., and again on International Day of Peace. So I'll transition this over to Jennifer Kim for closing words. And as always, peace. May peace follow you always, and may it all prevail on earth.
Thank you, George. Thank you so much. As we breathe together here for the close of our meeting, I'm just remembering when we first started meeting as an Education Peace team, and we started doing the peace breathing. I think I remember Dot suggesting that we all take a breath of peace at noon every day. And that way, that breath of peace kind of circles the planet and all our different places around the world. So that just popped back in my head a few minutes ago, and thought I'd throw it out here that we could all take a breath of peace daily, and we'll keep that breath circulating our planet. So I kind of like that idea. Let's breathe together. We'll inhale world, exhale peace. Inhale world, exhale peace. Inhale world, exhale peace. Thank you, one and all. Now we try this, it becomes a big noise, but we all try to say together, may peace prevail on earth. Thank you. Thank you, everybody. Thank you so much. Peace.